go. Oh, now we are cooking with hot water. Okay.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, I'm so glad you're here. We're just going to zip through this slideshow and we'll be ready for you at 5:30. But
Okay.
you're our speaker, right?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much for joining us. Okay. So, if you're in San Diego area, we're doing aroma yoga at my house Thursday, the 27th at 6 to 7:30. You get a yoga class and take home a sample of oils. If you bring a buddy, it's free. If you fly solo, that's cool too. It's $10 for your supplies. And then the second Thursday in May, this will probably be the last event at our house because we're about to move into our RV. But we're going to do a DIY workshop, and I haven't filled this out yet because I've been packing China. Okay. But we will, to be continued. So today we're going to talk about specifically cleaning your bathroom and using less chemicals, which is such a great thing. Oh, and let me admit somebody, because especially the bathroom, it seems like I always picture those really toxic bubble scrubber thingies. So let's see, we're still on my slides. So do-it-yourself mirror and window cleaner. I got online, you can go on oillife.com, I don't make money off that, or Amazon, and get like spray bottles and just different empty bottles. It encourages you to play with your oils. So that's my tip on that for today. On this specific recipe, you're using a big 24-ounce bottle, 2 cups of water, half a cup white vinegar. I always think of my dear grandma when I see these DIYs with vinegar. Half a cup of rubbing alcohol and 10 drops of our lemon essential oil. Combine it and use it to clean your mirrors and your windows. Another great one is for the toilet, tub, and sink. It's a scrub. And so you're going to use a cup of baking soda, a cup of borax. Again, it makes me think of my dear grandma. 20 drops of our tea tree or melaleuca oil, and 20 drops of eucalyptus. You're going to mix it all together, store it in an airtight container, and those mason jars are good. Sprinkle it, and then when you're ready to use it, just sprinkle it into your your tub, shower, sink, whatever you're using it for. Pour the half a cup of white vinegar to coat the solution, and just let it fizz up, and then scrub it clean. So you mix all the dry stuff, and then you're adding the vinegar at last. This is my last slide before I turn over to Megan, and these are toilet bombs. So you're going to use a cup of baking soda, 1/4 cup of citric acid, 1.5 tablespoons of the On Guard concentrate, which I learned, or the Castile soap, but I recommend the On Guard. I love that concentrate. Last week, someone was doing their slides, and they said they put like a tablespoon in like a big bottle, fill it with water to use. And I was like, oh my gosh, in our RV, I don't think I ever stopped to learn that. I put like, I think it was like half and half. So I'm gonna have to go back and revisit my ratios. But at any rate, and then you're gonna add the 15 drops of Purify, which is a really lovely oil. It's one of my favorites. It's really good for drier balls too, but I might be getting ahead of ourselves. Mix the baking soda and citric acid, slowly stir in your liquids, pack it into the silicone molds, and let it sit for 4 hours. And if it starts to rise a little bit, push it back down. And then once it's really dry, like really, really dry, then you're going to put it in an airtight container. And then when you're ready to use them, you just drop 1 or 2 in the toilet, let it sit for a couple minutes, and scrub up the toilet. So now I'm going to turn our slides over to Megan. And oh, I'm sorry, Megan. I zipped right past you. There you go. Take it away.
All right. Hello, everyone. So this is a DIY for shower and tile spray. You'll want a 16-ounce spray bottle, 1 cup of hot water, a tablespoon of the On Guard concentrate cleaner, half a cup of white vinegar, half a cup of hydrogen peroxide, 10 drops of tea tree, and 10 drops of eucalyptus. You will stir the concentrate cleaner into the water and then add the other ingredients. And you will spray on a surface and let it sit for about 5 to 10 minutes and then wipe it clean. And then we have a DIY poopery spray in a 2-ounce spray bottle. You will use 20 drops of your favorite essential oil blend and filtered water. You'll want to use the amber colored jars, because the filtration of the light won't get into those as much as like a clear bottle. But you'll mix all the ingredients and spray in the bathroom in replacement of store-bought air fresheners as needed.
All right. Thank you, Megan. And oh, my thing says Jennifer again. I switched. I was so proud of myself. It said Sherry hosting for Jen. Okay. I don't have the bandwidth to go back and fix that. I'm Sherry. Oh, and I see that someone added to the chat. Let's see. A squirt of glycerin. Oh, I love that, Alicia. Yes, I love that because then it kind of leaves like a little bit of like a casing or like a little film, right? Thank you for that.
Yes, I've tried coconut oil, the FCO. It doesn't work as well as the glycerin. Works
Yeah, glycerin's a little thicker. Yeah. Oh, that's a
Is
great tip.
the glycerin, if you're using it like traditional poopery spray, you spray before you go, so it leaves the film. And then if you're just going to spray it as air freshener in the air, you'd leave it out.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
ST, I like that. Yeah. Yeah, I have literally walked into a hotel, opened the door, and the air freshener hit me, and I was like, I can't stay here. So I love it that we have these alternatives. Okay, Abode hand soap. Fun fact, if you already bought your Abode long ago, like I did, they have improved all of their dispensers, the top. And the only reason why I've learned this is because I have a rental property and I'm staging it right now. It's furnished. And I bought the whole Abode line for the rental property. And in the cart down at the bottom, it's like plus the replacement dispenser for like the soap, the lotion, the surface spray, and the dishwasher soap. And I'm like, okay, so I know their customer service is really good. And if I reach out to them, they'll send me a set too. And it looks like Alicia, do I have that right? Yeah, is adding something. We'll read it in a second. So onto the hand soap. The perfect addition for any bathroom or kitchen is the foaming hand wash. It's in citrus bloom and it doesn't dry out your hands. It contains natural surfactants. I don't know if I said that right or not. Banana fruit extract to gently clean, condition, and moisturize. It's really gentle. I love it. The aroma is really pleasant. It doesn't feel like you're putting your hands through the wringer. I used to be a hairstylist. My hands were constantly in soap and lotions and liquids and stuff. And I'm sensitive to having my hands go through too much. Free from parabens, I can never say that word, flatlates. That's not it. Phthalate. Oh, I'm not even gonna try. I've had a long day. Phosphates, dyes, and synthetic fragrances, packaged in a recyclable aluminum container. The big thing about this whole line, I keep pointing right here because it's like right on this other side of the bar I'm sitting at, is the containers are so nice because they're amber glass, like what Megan was just talking about. And the refills come in either aluminum, which is so friendly to recycle, earth friendly, or the plastic made from recyclable products. Let's see. And then, I'm going to give you a second to scan this with your phone if you have it. If you're on your phone right now, just let us know and I can email it to you. But Jen has put together like an 18-page welcome guide. It's really great electronically. It's a little, I have a trifold to print out and give to my enrollments. It's a little better price point wise, but as far as information, this covers everything and it's so good. And it will really help you find ways of swapping out. And the tip is like, as you start running low on something, just replace it with either a DIY or a product from doTERRA. You don't feel like you have to go change everything overnight. It's just a process. It's a lifestyle. So don't be hard on yourself. And SD is saying, have any of you ever tried adding just the essential oil to Castile? No, I haven't. Feel free to chime in there, the others, if they have, but that whole Abode line is inspired from the Abode essential oils. So that sounds like a great DIY. And I love that idea, SD. So let's see, they researched over 2,500 products for over 14 months and found that 7% of cleaning products adequately disclose their contents. I know about this firsthand, again, from being a hairstylist, because the FDA, there's so many loopholes. They don't regulate things. I could actually clean your oven old school wise with hair color has more ammonia in it than oven cleaner does. So I know from the industry I was in, things aren't being regulated like I think they could be. And so it's so important to just take it into our own hands. We don't need to wait for them to figure it out or catch up with the rest of the world. A lot of other countries are a lot more strict on what they put in their products and the packaging and labeling of it, but we can just start now. Michelle's wondering, how is the shower spray on grout? Mine needs some serious cleaning. And again, if somebody could chime in on that, I don't know, but it's a really great question because grout really can grab things. And lastly, on this slide, many essential oils have antibacterial and antimicrobial properties. It's very simple and affordable. When you think about those larger bottles of essential oils have 250 drops, it really goes a long ways. So next week, tune back in, same bat channel, and hopefully we'll be a little smoother with our login. Melissa usually does it. So I was like, Melissa, texting her at the Padre game. We're going to go into laundry and bedroom. So that'll be really fun. And then April promos, I updated this morning because the one is only good till the 15th. So now we're down to 3. And the trio for Mother's Day, or if you're just wanting to spoil yourself, it's a lovely group. Another great way of reducing and eliminating toxins by replacing your perfumes. The middle is all new members now at 150 PV or more. We'll get the Pebble diffuser for free, which is an amazing incentive. I love it. I have it in my home hair salon. And then lastly, they do like a seasonal citrus bliss or citrus blend every spring, it seems like, the little bit I've been around. And this one is a citrus bloom. And so it's a wonderful blend of flowers and citrus, and it's 10% off while supplies last. And I think they're still available, if I understand it right. So if any of you are new, or also too, welcome to the people who are maybe watching the recording. This is how you get started with doTERRA. And somehow I'm keeping within our first 30-minute time print. So we have 3 ways. The first way is retail prices. It's possible. I have a couple people out of my 100+ customers that have chosen to go retail. It's good for some people. The downside is it's going to be your most expensive way. And if you're buying it, especially like off Amazon or third-party places, there's no guarantee that it wasn't tampered with or adulterated or stretched or anything funny. We know we test our products for purity, 54 rounds of tests, 11 of them third party. Once you start going outside the footprint of doTERRA, you're kind of taking a little bit of a gamble that way. Second way is wholesale. So you get 25% off everything off the website for the whole year. And one of the things I love about it is there's no auto renewal. So there's no trickery. You're not getting into something where you have to now keep up or figure out how to quit, or you just at like day 366, if you go to put something in your cart, it'll show a $25 renewal fee, but a free peppermint worth $24. So it's basically $1 to renew, but it's only at your own discretion. And it's only if you were to put something in that cart. So you get to order at your own pace and create your own orders. The third way, which is going to be initially a little bit bigger discount than 25%, are we have these pre-curated enrollment kits. So you're going to save 25% off the website for the whole year, just like column number 2. But because the kits are bundled in a greater savings, you're initially going in with a little better bang for your buck. So there's 3 samples here, but we have lots of different kits to choose from, and you can also create your own custom kit, which I love. So just to kind of give you a sampling here, there's the El Grande kit that has, so much in it, from the oils to the toothpaste. It comes with a diffuser, a nice little wooden box to carry things, your oils in, the vitamins, which I love, Deep Blue, which is probably one of our best known products. You're going to save $150 when you purchase this. The middle one and the third one are exactly the same top 10 oils. The middle one is with a larger glass topped diffuser called Lulu's. And the bottles are the bigger 15 milliliter, which have 250 drops. And you're going to save $90 when you buy that one for $270. And the third one, again, it's the same because there are like top 10 oils, but the bottles are a little smaller. They're 5 milliliter, but still 85 drops per bottle. So plenty to get your feet wet and figure out what you like and get used to using these. And again, with that little pebble diffuser. So I don't know if Alicia knows if they would get a pebble diffuser in addition to this kit, because right now when you enroll with 150 PV, then you get, right?
Yes. So like the Healthy Start Kit is 100 PV. So if you add on 50 PV, you'll get an extra pebble diffuser. Or with
Oh,
a
I see what you're
kit,
saying.
you'll get either of those two bigger kits, you'll automatically get that.
Gotcha.
Also, I'm doing Diamond Club right now. So this is technically a Diamond Club event since I'm here.
Oh, good.
So they can also get extra bonuses that way as well. So with 100 PV, it's a free bottle of Adaptive. And then with a 200 PV, they get Adaptive, Citrus Bliss, and a small frankincense. So 5 milliliter frankincense, but the other two are full size.
Wonderful.
So,
Would you like to type in the chat box the code that we would use?
Well, I need to put their information in first on my end, and then I can give you guys the code.
Okay.
This is my number if anyone.
Yeah, put your number in there.
If anyone's on here that hasn't enrolled yet and is a brand new customer and wants to take advantage of that, just text me. I can input it on my end and then get you going on that. Okay.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. And let me just backtrack here a little bit.
I don't know if anyone on your team is doing Diamond Club. I mean, feel free to work with them too, but just in case they're not, I don't know.
Yeah, no, that's wonderful. We had one other guest speaker mention it, but it's a free world and everybody gravitate where they're drawn. And congrats. I'm proud of you for giving it a go. The only question we didn't get answered before we wrap up is the shower spray on grout. And I just don't know the answer to that.
So, yeah, you got your Diamond Club freebies a few days ago. Nice, Nicole. That's awesome. Dude, those are like the best deals ever. So, I would say yes on the shower spray. I don't know exactly what recipe they have up there, but anything that's going to have baking soda, vinegar, and lemon essential oil. You can also use purify oil, and some, a little bit of scrubbing, hand scrubbing is going to do wonders. So I would more, versus the spray, I would more make a paste out of that combination of things. So maybe the one that was in the jar, if you mix vinegar with that and it bubbles up and you can really get in there and scrub, that will work great.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. And Michelle, if you have more questions or if you need more, talk about it more, stay after. If you're staying for the second half, we'll talk more.
Yeah. And I don't know if you guys are having a Reclaim Your Health event down in San Diego. I know you guys are from all over the country, like my team is as well. But I'm hosting a Reclaim Your Health up here, up too. So in Orange County, that's where I'm from. So
you're close. Yeah, I like the title of it. Reclaim Your.
Yeah. So this year, doTERRA, for the spring tour, what they've done is actually make it available to anyone who wants to host one. And we're doing a huge one. So we're having a tier 4 event, which is the biggest event. And we've rented out a hotel ballroom. And we have a essential oil scientist coming as the speaker, one of the speakers, incredible speakers for our event from corporate. And then there's like all kinds of freebies. So on top of the Diamond Club freebies, they also get another free frankincense.
When is that?
May 18th.
Okay.
I'll drop the link in the chat for you guys.
That sounds great. And while you're doing that, I'll just wrap up these slides so that we stay
Yeah.
on track to some degree.
Sure.
Most of you already know this, it's kind of repetitive, but the perks for joining our team instead of just buying off Amazon or somewhere random is you're going to get those wholesale prices for the year. You get a private one-on-one health consult, the welcome guide with tips and recipes, these ongoing education, Zoom meetings and things in person in your local communities. And doTERRA is so great. Like I think what Alicia's doing right now with the Diamond Club, our prior guest that was explaining it, is that like they encourage us to support each other no matter what line we're part of, which I love. So, you know, if you're wanting to do live local events and you're not in San Diego, let us know where you are. We'll find someone there that would adopt you in and let you participate there. Loyalty rewards, amazing customer service, and more. So, oh, and that last little pink box says, where you buy your oils is more important than like, or from who. Oh, let me just go back. I'm butchering it. Hold on. I got this. Who you buy your essential oils from is just as important as where. There we go. And then, oh, and we have, let's see, a bunch of customers to go.
I have a question.
Yes, please.
Okay, so I've been using essential oils for a little while, but I was just like throwing them in diffusers and on my dryer balls and like linen spray. So it's just like boop, boop, boop. So the other day I had a sore throat and I Googled it and it said to use 1 drop of On Guard, 1 drop of frankincense, 1 drop of lavender, 1 drop of lemon, I think. Worked phenomenal. It cured my sore throat. That being said, I've never just tried to get like 1 drop. So I like tipped my thing over and it was like 5 drops came out. Do anyone know how to get like 1 drop from the bottle if you're doing actual like recipes?
Were you shaking it or were you just tipping it slowly?
Well, the first one I tried like because there was 4 different essential oils, but I didn't get a drop out of any of them. I like tapped one, kind of shook one, just tried to tip one. They were just like.
I know for me that like I start tipping and I almost anticipate stop tipping before I even see the drop. And then
Okay.
Is that the good?
I'll try that. Yeah, I think somebody's so used to just like blum 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 into the diffuser, onto the dryer ball, whatever, without caring how much came out. So I
got good at it with my water because if I add too much, I don't like it. So I like watch, and as it starts to come, I'm like, oh, okay, there we go.
Okay, I'll try that method.
You can also buy the dropper lids.
Oh, okay.
For
off of Oil
those
Life
as well.
Yeah, good tip, Megan. Yeah.
Off of Oil Life.
Oillife.com. And I
that one written down.
It's a great testimonial as to like the price point of these oils. They're so concentrated that you can't use a ton of drops in one thing. It's too much. So, okay, again, I'm getting sidetracked. So if the business is right for you, these are some questions that would kind of bring that to light. Do you like natural products? Do you like helping other people? Are you looking for a little extra money or to completely replace and maybe exceed your income? If your answer is yes, then stick around for the second half of this call. We purposely designed it this way so that customers can join us, which we always love seeing Melody and others come and go. And I'm so glad you feel like you can do that. That's exactly what we designed it for. And then if you're wanting to dive deeper, business-wise, you're welcome to stay. So I love it that it's inclusive and it works for everybody. And so thanks so much for joining us. And did anybody have any other questions before we end this half of the call?
I just wanted to say too, what I'm presenting is an NLP foundation, neuro-linguistic programming. So I'm also a master practitioner besides a wellness advocate. And so what I'm teaching you today actually applies to everything. We're dealing with your kids, your husbands, your bosses, your coworkers, your customers. So I invite all of you to really stay on and enjoy what I'm going to offer.
Thank you so much. Well, let me stop this share and stop the recording if I can figure out.
Really, really quick.
There we go.
All right. Go ahead and give me access to share my screen while I introduce myself. You know how to do that?
I think
Okay,
I just
awesome.
did. Yeah.
Yep, I got it. Okay, so hello everybody. I know I've already chimed in a bit here, but I'll go ahead and introduce myself. I'm Alicia Casey. I've been with doTERRA for 11 years. So I met Jennifer Shaw. Honestly, I don't even know where I met her. It's been so long that we've known each other. And I think it was on some sort of incentive trip or maybe a Diamond Club trip or something that we earned or won or something for being Rockstar doTERRA sharers. And let me get this going real quick. So I have a 10-month-old baby, and so she actually came and did one of my team calls during my maternity leave. So I was so excited to return the favor for her. And let's see. So I've traveled all over the country teaching people about essential oils for physical uses, for women's health, kids, babies. I specialize in essential oils for pets, as well as using them for energetic work, emotional healing. And I've done a lot of personal development programs over the years to expand myself and grow myself into the leader that I am today. And part of that journey was NLP, which stands for neuro linguistic programming. So it's basically reprogramming your subconscious mind for success, happiness, whatever you want, right? And one of the key concepts is actually called rapport. And some of you may have heard that word before. And it's, when you're in rapport, you kind of like feeling it and you're feeling each other. But I'm going to explain how you can actually use this to grow your business, as well as you can use this, again, like I said, this works for husbands, spouses, grandparents, parents. It works for kids, bosses, customers, everybody. And so a part of that is actually teaching yourself to be flexible. The more inflexible you are, the harder it is going to be to deal with lots and lots of different types of people. And in doTERRA business, you're going to deal with lots and lots of different types of people, right? And so one of the quotes is from NLP is the person or system with the most flexibility controls the system. I know that sounds kind of weird, like controls the system, but it's not about control. It's about, being likable and being able to work with a wide variety of people, because that's the only way you're going to make a big difference on the planet. And that's what we're here to do. I mean, we could do anything to make money. We're here because we want to help people and make a difference for people. So when we talk about communication, so the theory behind communication, and this is widely known, it's about 7% words, 38% tonality, and then 55% physiology. So that's your body language. Did you have a question? Okay. So I'm going to go through each one of those in just a sec, but I want to dive deeper into this theory of rapport and how this relates. So when people are like each other, they like each other. So you've all been in rapport and you've felt it. Okay. So when you meet someone and you're like, oh my gosh, cool. Oh, I just got back from Italy. And then the other person's like, oh my gosh, I've been to Italy. It's my favorite place. You instantly have that connection, right? And you've felt that I grew up doing gymnastics. You grew up doing gymnastics? Oh, I grew up in this area. Like as soon as you meet someone, like my friend last night, she's from New Mexico. She went to dinner and it was an hour wait or something. And then the manager was like, 505 area code. Are you from New Mexico? Oh my gosh. Yes. Da, 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 da. We'll get you in right now. Right. So it's just like instant report just because of her area code. Had, nothing to do with her personality or anything else. So rapport is not necessarily liking each other, though. I want to make that clear. It's actually a process of responsiveness. So see how it immediately clicked in his brain to respond when he felt that rapport. Rapport is also a process of matching and mirroring. So you've all kind of been around someone who talks really, really, really fast, and then like me, and then if you are maybe you're a fast talker and then you're around someone who's a really slow talker, you're like, "Ah," jumping out of your chair, right? Like, hurry it up. Because you're not in rapport. However, if you want to sell more essential oils and make a bigger difference on the planet, you're going to have to slow it down if you're a fast talker so that you can connect with all different types of people in your audience. Okay, so the largest part of this is body language physiology. So let's look at what that is. So posture. So if someone's, and so what I'm going to teach you guys to do is to get in rapport with anybody. You want to look how their posture is. If they're kind of laid back like this, you might want to lay back. If they're leaning forward, like this, you can actually completely copy that. And the great thing about being in rapport is people will never notice you're doing it. It's so subtle. Even if you think they're exactly copying you or you're exactly copying them, they will never notice. It's amazing. Okay. Gestures. So like I was saying, like this. So, some people really talk with their hands a lot. So if you're with someone that's, using a lot of talking with their hands, talk bigger with your hands, not when they're talking, right? That would be weird. So don't be weird, but like when you're talking, then you use bigger, more expressive body language, right? If they're more calm, then you gotta take yourself down and be more calm. Facial expressions, if they're smiling, you're smiling. If they're laughing, you're laughing. If they're kind of like, maybe you can get like kind of match that. Like maybe you have a skeptical person, right? No one's ever had a oil skeptic. And then you're like, they're like, no way. And then you're like, no way. But yes, I thought the same thing. No way, So you match them and then you go back to your natural way of being. Or like if you're dealing with someone that's like really sad and down in the dumps, I'm not saying like get low on their level and be down in the dumps, but maybe you can bring yourself down for a minute so they can feel that you feel what they're feeling, and then try to brighten up the mood and lift them up. Okay. Tonality is 38%, which is how you say it. So important. It's not what you say, it's how you say it. So it's your tone, tempo, timbre, volume. Okay. So again, like if you're a fast talker, the speed, or if they're a slow talker, or maybe they talk with a low tone, like if you're, talking to a man has a really deep voice, you're not going to go, hello, well, would you like to smell this essential oil? Like that'd be weird. Again, don't be weird, but try to match them in their tone and their volume. You've been around loud people. Hi, loud person. So, sometimes I'm a loud fast talker. I'm like really energetic, and so I'm not being myself, but I'm also being what's the word I'm looking for? I'm also being I'll think of it in a second. I won't stop because we don't have time for that. I can't think of it. Okay. So words, what you say does matter. So even though it's only 7%, it still does matter. Okay. And so there's predicates, which I'm going to go over in just a second. Keywords, like if that person's like, dude, this is awesome. You could be like, dude, this is awesome, right? You're speaking their language and they won't even necessarily know it. Or if they say, this smells exquisite. You're like, later on in the conversation, you can bring up again and say, I want you to smell this. It's exquisite. And they'll be like, oh yeah. Even though like they have no idea that they said that 5 minutes ago, but that's going to hit home for them. And you're going to be in such deep rapport because they're going to love it. By the way, when you're in rapport, people will buy anything from you. Okay. They want whatever you have. They're like, man, I love this person. People want to do business with people they know, like, and trust. Rapport builds trust. Okay. That is a number one thing. And especially if someone's never tried an oil, doesn't know anything about doTERRA, if they can trust you, they're going to go over that hump of like wanting to buy that. You've all been around a sleazy salesperson, like, right? Like the car salesman, or, like I was at Costco today and the T-Mobile people were there and I was like, no, because it's like, you just don't want to interact with that. And so we don't want to be that type of person. So what you could be doing may be repelling people and you don't even know it, just because you're not getting in rapport with them. And you do not want to ask anyone to buy unless you're in rapport. If you're not in rapport, you just have to like either get in rapport or ask them to buy another time. Okay? Like don't waste your time because they're not going to want whatever that is. Okay. So common experience, again, that's just like, oh, I just got back from Italy. Oh, I've been to Italy. We've all done that kind of rapport, which is good, but it's just such a teeny tiny percent of rapport. And then content chunks. So that's like if they're a big picture person or a small picture person. So if I say, hey, Megan, do you want to do a project with me? And if you wanted to do a project with me, would you want all the details right away before you say yes? Or would you rather hear like the overall picture of what I'm planning and then the details? Right? So everyone's going to have a different answer for that. And so if you're dealing with a big picture person and then you're trying to give them every little detail, okay, well, lavender does this and peppermint does this. And they're like, oh my gosh, like my brain is numb. I want out of here. Right? So what you want to do for those big picture people, and you can even like test them out and ask like, hey, do you want to know what ingredients are in Deep Blue and why it works so well? And they're like, no, I just want the Deep Blue. Big picture person. They just want to know, okay, I got pain, like slap that puppy on, let's go, right? And then maybe later, if it works, then they'll be like, oh, what is in this actually? This is amazing. What is in this? That's going to be a big picture person. Okay. So you've got to like know your audience. That's so key, is speaking into your audience, which if I would have had more time, I would have really got to know you guys more. But that's why one thing, like why I got on early, because I wanted to get to know who's on this call so I can speak to you guys. So the second I started doTERRA class, before I even get there, I'm asking tons and tons of personal questions to get to know who my people are, who's used essential oils, who has essential oils at home, who has doTERRA, who has more than 5 oils, who has more than 20 oils. Okay, cool. Got a nice picture of what's happening in this room. Who's diffused? So instead of just teaching, okay, there's 3 ways to use essential oils: aromatically, topically, and internally. Who knows the 3 ways you can use oils? Nobody answers. Okay, I know what I'm working with here. All right, so aromatically, you sniff them. Oh yeah, I knew that. Okay, who's got a diffuser at home? Great. So I'm asking tons and tons of questions in my classes because it's keeping them engaged and I'm getting to know them. Whenever I do a class, I always have them write down, what's your 3 top health concerns? So that I can speak into those concerns, right? Like, I don't want to be just talking up here for no reason. Okay, so let's talk about learning styles. So these are called representational systems in NLP world. In the regular world out there, it's called learning styles, right? We've got visual, auditory, and kinesthetic. You've all probably heard of those 3 things. So visual, these people need to see it to learn it. Auditory need to hear it to learn it. Kinesthetic need to do it with their hands to learn it. Okay, so we all lean one way or another. We all have all three. Okay, so it's always best to learn with visual, auditory, and kinesthetic. That's why it was so hard over 2020 to do online classes when people do not have samples. I mean, I shipped out samples because I was like, I cannot have a class and you not have an oil in your hand to be able to experience the oil. Why the heck would you buy oils that you've never experienced? It was very difficult, okay? I'm so happy we get to do in-person classes and we're back out there. I'm doing booths everywhere, pop-ups. I mean, I will pop up anywhere you want to pop up. I'm in. My table is out there. I got the baby in the carrier. We're just talking to people. Let's go. So, okay, back to visual. Okay, so visual is people who like to learn visually, people who love PowerPoints. Oh, I love a PowerPoint. You do a presentation, you have no PowerPoint. I'm like, I can't understand. How are you just talking? This is crazy. Where is the visual aid? You know, that's me. Other people, you know, don't mind, whatever. But you'll see, okay. So what you want to do is, if they're a visual person, start matching them with visual language. Okay, this is where the juice is that you're not doing, that nobody is out there teaching you. So if you hear someone saying, see, look, I want to look at those oils. Can you show me where to find the oil? Can you show me which oil is for pain? Can you, you know, so they may say picture, they may say imagine, like picture yourself dropping this oil in a diffuser. So if you don't have any visual cues, you can also guide them along like that too. Picture yourself at home in your bathroom, putting this on every morning, putting a drop of frankincense in your moisturizer every morning. Okay, like, so you can do that. So if you're a visual person and then the other person's a visual person, it'll be really, really easy because you're already using visual in your language all the time. If you're an auditory person, or if you're a visual person and you're talking to an auditory person and you're saying, let me show you this, do you want to see this? You're going to be missing the mark because they can't hear it and it doesn't resonate with them the way that you're saying it. So auditory people are going to be like, I want to hear about that deep blue. I want to hear your presentation. Do you have a podcast I can listen to? That's going to give you a clue. Oh, they're an auditory person. They want to listen to something. Okay. Whatever rings a bell. I'm all ears. Any sayings that have, these are just a few. I have like a huge list of these. But anything that has to do with the ears is going to be an auditory person. And so my boyfriend's an auditory learner. So I have to shift my language when he's not, when it doesn't feel like it's connecting, like I'm saying one thing, but he's like hearing something completely else. I actually have to change my language to auditory so that he can like absorb that information in. Okay. And if I want him to learn something, oh my gosh, I hand him a book. No. It's going to sit there for years. I bought him so many books. They just sit there. So what we found, what works for us is like, I actually read to him. So he listens. I'm visual and kinesthetic. So I'm able to see the words as I'm reading it and experience them as I'm reading them to him. And then we both learn. So anyway, side note. Okay, kinesthetic. So these are people who need to feel it, touch it, who need to grasp it. You'll see You'll see kinesthetic people, like if you've got a pen sitting there, they're picking up the pen, clicking the pen. If there's a couch fabric, they're feeling the fabric. Look at this pillow. Let me feel it. It was soft. You know, they're like touching everything. You've seen those touchy people, and you're like, if you're not the touchy person, you're the visual person, you're going, why are they doing that? It's so weird. They're kinesthetic. That's how they have to learn, okay? And then you'll hear in their voice, in their language, they're gonna say a lot of I feel. This feels good. That doesn't feel good. This feels like thought of this feels like pressure, right? Like some people like or I want to touch that. I want to grab that. Oh, let me grab that oil from you. That's kinesthetic person right there. Get a handle on it. I want to make contact. A lot about feeling and touching. So if there's any of that in their language, you're going to start noticing that. So when you're working with someone in doTERRA and like they're like you know, I'll text people this all the time. Hey, do you want to jump on a call and I can explain the kits to you, or would you rather hear about the kits or see them? And then they'll say see them, right? And then I'll text them the kits and I'll still get on the phone with them and walk them through it, right? But like they want to see it. So that's a good way to know if they're visual or kinesthetic. And so these are just something to keep in mind if you're really having a hard time connecting with someone. Shift your language. So a lot of times for me, because I'm a very visual person, I'll just throw in the word feel and I'll be like, which kit feels good? If I'm getting like resistance, you know, and they're just like, oh, like I can tell they're overwhelmed or something. I go, which kit feels good to you? And then they're like, oh, and it feels good to them because they're like, oh, they're speaking my language now. You know what? This kit feels good, right? So this isn't manipulation. And I like to, you know, really let people know that this is not manipulation. No one's going to buy anything they don't want to buy. What you're doing is you're removing that barrier to entry because again, people only want to do business with people they know, like, and trust. Okay. So if they don't want what you have, just forget about it anyways. But this is for people who are genuinely interested. They do want to try these products, but if you're not speaking their language, it could turn them off and then, you know, on to the next person. So you want to be, you know, bring that flexibility into your conversations because the person or system with the most flexibility controls the system, right? So think about, what is it called? Blockbuster? Yeah, they're gone because there's no flexibility, right? You have to be flexible and change. You know, when 2020 happened, we all had to pivot and move online. Those who didn't move online probably lost a lot of business. Or you know, I've been in this business 11 years, so I've changed my classes and how I operate and do things a million times because you have to be flexible. You have to change. What worked before didn't work before. You know, it just depends what you're doing, right? So, okay, that's it for me. This is me. If you want to follow me on Instagram or just friend me on Facebook with my name, Alicia Casey. And any questions?
It was
Yeah,
so
you
good.
mentioned,
Oh,
sorry.
go ahead, Esty.
No, you mentioned like booths and pop-ups. I'm brand new.
Yeah.
So is there she said there's a compliance team, but like where can I find out that what's allowed and what's not allowed? I know
Oh my
that they're
God.
doing
Well, your leader, Jennifer Shaw, is the booth master. Okay.
okay.
I'm also a booth master, but I incorporated some of her booth mastery and it took my booth to a whole nother level. And we are just out there rocking and rolling right now. So
I didn't even know we were allowed to do booths, so,
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, you can do booths. Does Jen have a video on that? I feel like she definitely does.
Yeah, she probably does. And Esty, I can tell you, I just worked a booth with Jen in December, and I had learned from another person on our team who does a good job, and I would get like leads. I don't think I ever got an enrollment from the booth. And then I went, and Jen and somebody else had done the first half of the day, and me and one of my team members did the second half of the day. And collectively, we got 4 enrollments that day. Like
Mhm.
her and her team got 2, and me and my team got 2. And what the difference is from what she does from what I'd learned before that is she keeps it super simple and clean, and there's not a lot of choices. So it's
Mhm.
like the healthy habit or whatever that kit is that's bigger, that's like 270, she puts that out. And then if they're like, I don't know, 270, she's like, I can do this exact kit for 160.
so you can sell, I guess I can find this somewhere online. I just don't know where to find it. So can you bring products and sell them there, or are you selling online, or you can do both?
You can do both. Each city is going to
Okay.
vary if you need a seller's permit or not, but
But doTERRA allows you to bring products to different, like, whatever, I don't know, trade shows or markets or whatever and set
Yeah.
up a booth.
yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
that's another thing she does is she has like she gave me a thing for promoting that holds oils, and because I know it's like from her, I'm making that my booth's brand new oils. So whenever I get oils and I have extra and they haven't been opened, I put them there. So and then I'm doing an event a week from Saturday, and I'll take that with me. And I was against selling oils before that because I was like, no, I want them to sign up. But she makes a good point. Like this booth I'm doing is $200. So yeah, I should probably try to sell some oils and cover my booth and still get the 4 enrollments. So she's brilliant at it.
Yes.
I
That's-
I had a question. Does that answer your question, Esty?
Yeah, so I guess I
Or
just,
get you started?
I think that I'm not very tech savvy, but I think that the doTERRA website, from what I've seen so far, is really not user friendly at all. So I'm just not sure where to go to find out like what we're allowed. Like, I'm sure there's rules around what we're allowed to be doing, and I'm
Yeah,
not
you're
sure where
you're
to
Well,
welcome
find
to
that's
reach
why
out
it's
to me
important
tomorrow.
to have your mentor. Who's your upline? Who's your mentor?
Jennifer, but she's on maternity leave.
Yeah, I will help you tomorrow. Call me tomorrow and
Yeah,
we'll
because
talk.
that's like a whole nother training.
Yeah.
That would be like another
in
30
a nut-
minutes.
yeah, in a nutshell, you can't say like it's like Neosporin or it's going to cure your pain or but let's talk tomorrow on that. Is that a good stopping point? And then Alicia, I wanted to know more when you say pop-ups. I'm about to go traveling for 6 months. So I'm wondering, can you just in a nutshell tell me what a pop-up is for you?
Well, like we know a preschool here locally. And so the kids get picked up at 12:30, 3:30, and 5:30, right? So Friday we're gonna go pop up for the 12:30 pickup crew. So we're just gonna have basically our booth set up in front of this preschool and just talk to people as they come through. And then obviously we're trying to sell them a kit if they are ready to do that, but a lot of people aren't because they're just there to pick up their kid. They're like, I don't know, do this. So I have found that it's getting harder and harder to get people's contact information, but I'm giving away free samples to get their contact information. So I have like little 4 mil roller balls or 1 mil roller balls right there with different, and I say, hey, we're giving away blends. I only sample doTERRA blends because I don't want them to get a lavender and then go buy it at Sprouts. So I sample Serenity, Breathe, and Adaptive.
Oh, I see. It's not
Pretty
just
much exclusively.
right.
And everybody, or a deep blue rub packet. Okay, so everybody wants one of those 4, and then I say, okay, hey, we're giving away samples today. If you'd like a sample, go ahead and put your information down, and they just start filling it out. I've only had one in the last few months. I've been doing a ton of booths in the last few months, and I've only had one person like take the sample and not put their name down. I'm like, okay, whatever. I mean, what am I gonna do? Like, excuse me, give that sample back, you know. Oh well, but so I've gotten a ton of names and numbers that way. I do a lot of follow up. I invite them to so every booth we have a local class either the week or two later after that booth to invite them to as well. So it's like a
Right.
follow up, and
So
then
a pop-up and then a class coming. That's good. I like that. And
yeah.
that reminded me too, Esty, that another thing Jen does is she has a small shallow box like this big 4x6 or something of a set of roller bottles, like 5 or 6 of them, and she'll sell them for $50 the set, but you get the set for free when you enroll because people like to take things home from events. So
Yeah, because their kit gets shipped to them in the mail.
right. So you're
So
going home with something like, look what I just got. And then they're more apt to purchase purchase the kit because they're going to go home with something in their hand. And it's
Okay.
a $50 value, but it may cost you like
and
$5.
that's extra. You don't even have to do that. If they want the kit, they're just gonna buy the kit, is what I've found, like most of the time. And then I started doing that too. And then at the very, I'm like, okay, and then here you get to take this home, and they're like, oh, cool. But they were already done. They were already sold, ready to go. So there was no need to actually have that. If for 90% of people, I think.
Right,
I'm
right.
finding.
Just what she's doing is, yeah.
Yeah, it does help though. And I like it because then they get started using the oils right away.
Right. And it kind of gets them going. Yeah.
That's the plan. So
Yeah. I'm sorry that we ran over, but I'm so glad we could squeeze in the 10 minutes we didn't have because of my late start. So
yeah,
any
well,
final questions, Megan? Anything from you? Everyone's good?
No, I'm good. That was great.
So good.